Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Keys, and today we're going to look at the Destiny Rise of Iron update that was rolled out today on Twitch. Now, there's 4 main categories of content that we're going to see. New campaign, we're going to see a new cinematic story come to light, and I'm going to be covering that in the video. It includes new missions and new quest lines. Quest lines Gjallarhorn? Oh yes. New places, the Plaguelands, Fellwinter's Peak, and the Wall, and we're going to look at those in a bit more detail. New cooperative space, there's a new raid, new and updated strikes, patrols, and public events. Those will all take place on Earth. New Crucible, so there'll be new maps, a new mode, and some new features coming. So let's jump right in and get started. The first image teased in the Twitch stream was Lord Saladin standing with his cloak and his pack of wolves, staring at a hole in the wall. Now this is where the story mission apparently begins, and the player finds out what's behind the wall through their adventures in the new update. Next we see Fellwinter's Peak, which is where the Iron Temple is, and the Iron Lords used to hold this as a watch post to look over old Russia and protect humanity. We apparently begin our adventures here as we take back this area, and it also opens up a social space for the Guardian. This area has been abandoned for over 100 years, back when the Iron Lords battled their foes. It's going to be really cool to take over this spot again and explore the new social space. Next, we're presented with Siva. Over 100 years ago, the Iron Lords confronted an ancient evil and sacrificed themselves to protect humanity and contain it. You'll notice a Guardian walking across the bridge, so we can easily assume that this is going to be a setting for one of the story missions or one of the strikes in the game. I don't know about you guys, but this area looks really cool and I'm very interested to see it. Next, we're shown a Guardian in front of bunker doors, and it was said on stream that this is where Siva was locked away for 100 years. All died in this area except Lord Saladin. We all know the focal point of this update is around the Iron Lords, and with no surprise, Lord Saladin will be part of this. They teased on stream that Lord Saladin has been training Guardians to take on powerful foes. So I'm wondering what sort of tactics you're going to need to combat these new forces that we're going to see in this new DLC. We're going to see the return of a lot of weapons that we saw in Year 1, including Yolder's hammer. We all were under the impression that Yolder was a male, but it turns out that Yolder is actually a female. And we're going to learn more about Yolder and her importance through the lore that we'll discover as we progress through the new update. Next we see the inside of Fellwinter's Peak, and you'll notice the sigils and trees, the carvings on the walls. This is a really cool place. I'm actually very excited to explore this. You'll also notice that it is almost like a tomb for the Iron Lords, and they've actually been immortalized on the wall. Apparently this plays into the endgame, and we'll get to explore it in great depth. Turning back to Lord Saladin, there's a few photos of Lord Saladin where he's walking through old Russia right outside the wall with his wolf pack. This would probably bring back memories over 100 years ago as to when Guardians, or the Lords of Iron I should say, used to patrol these lands and protect humanity from enemies. In this picture we get the first peek at Lord Saladin without a helmet on, and we can see him patrolling with his wolf pack. One of the big stream questions that we saw on Twitch today was, are we going to get to actually have our own wolf pack following around? The answer to that, unfortunately, is no. I know it's going to upset a lot of people, as it's been kind of a rage on social media and on the Bungie forums as of late. This would be the same route that Lord Saladin walked back over 100 years ago in the Golden Age to protect humanity and make sure that Siva would not escape. Next we get our first glimpse at the Taken, and you'll notice that they've been transformed in a certain way. Apparently, accessing Siva, they've been able to tap into Golden Age and Siva technology to make themselves almost like machine gods. They talk about this a little bit in the stream with regards to modifying legs, arms, weapons, things of that nature, and it almost looks like they're more machine than fallen. Next we get a close-up look of Lord Saladin when he's on his walk with wolves. One of the things that's interesting is, throughout the game, none of the Titans have capes, so obviously some sort of special lore that we're going to discover through here as to why he has a cape versus a sash. It probably lends into the fact that he's an Iron Lord versus a standard Titan or a regular Titan Guardian. On stream, they confirm that our adventures begin climbing Fellwinter's Peak, and they give us a snapshot as to the path that we take. You can see there's a lot of rock and snow, and I think the landscape in-game in this area is going to be amazing and breathtaking to take a look at. I'm probably going to have to make my Guardian sit down and just look left, right, up and down, and just enjoy the scenery. Next, we get a sneak peek at the new social space, and you notice that it looks a little bit different than what we're accustomed to. Very rustic, as they described on Twitch. A little bit different than what we see at the tower, where that's more polished, or the industrial look that we see when we're at the reef. So this is going to be a very, very cool place to explore, and I'm really excited to see what it looks like in game. We also got another shot inside, and we get to see a female as well as a pack of wolves walking around, and we get a nice view of the fire as well as the immortalized Iron Lords that you see in the midsection. Also, look at the size of the tree. I know when we looked at the first photo, it was a bit hard to really comprehend how large this room is and the scale of the detail that you see in here. This is going to be an amazing room to adventure through, so I'm really excited to see this as well. Next, we get a glimpse at what it looks like when we're deep in the Plague Lands. Now, for those of you who didn't watch Twitch or read any of the information online, the Plague Lands is an area which the Fallen discovered and uncovered a plague, and that's where our adventures lie in this particular update. You can see here that Fallen have begun to erect contraptions and buildings using SIVA technology and Golden Age technology. There's going to be a lot of places to patrol here. There's going to be a new landing zone, and you're going to see some public events here in the space as well. So this is going to be a bulk of where we're going to be hanging out in the new update. So this is going to be a very, very cool area to explore. Bungie revealed on Twitch one of the bosses that we're going to encounter, and they were specific, saying that the Fallen took SIVA and Golden Age technology from the Vault to not only erect statues, buildings, contraptions, but also to modify themselves. You can see here that this Fallen enemy has modified its body mechanically as well as weaponry. So it's going to be very interesting. They did say that these enemies will have different abilities, and they'll be also different mechanics. The name of this particular enemy is called the Devil Splicer. Interestingly enough, we didn't get much information on this particular picture other than this is an area in the raid, and correct me if I'm wrong there. It was really fun. You'll see the structure in the background. They classified it as kind of like a Zamboni, jokingly, but they wouldn't give us the name of what this actually is, but we will get to experience it in the raid, as I mentioned. With every update comes new gear and weapons for our Guardians to make them more powerful and for us to enjoy. And as you can see here, there's some snapshots around different gear and weaponry that we'll see. As you know, this is a very heavily influenced DLC upon the Iron Lord, so a lot of it will kind of carry that Iron Banner theme or a Titan theme. So it's going to be really cool to see all the different weaponry and gear that we're going to receive. I found in the Taken King, as well as the April update, there were a lot of really cool weapons that they brought forward, so it's going to be really neat to see what we're going to be able to play around with. And here's another shot at a Guardian's mask, as well as chest and the arm pieces. I really like the cool colors that you see here. I've honestly never really put blue and gold together on any of my Guardians, but I like the look and feel of this. I'm typically going with black or white as my colors. Sometimes I'll go gold. I really like the emblem that's on the chest piece as well. So it's going to be really cool to see how they kind of decorate, for lack of better words, the different armor pieces that we're going to get with the influence of Titans and the Iron Lords. Next is the image that drove the internet mad, and that was the Titan running around with a double axe. There were so many people wondering what this weapon was, how it's going to be used, and where we're going to see it in the game. So this is, in fact, a double-headed axe. It's going to be a relic, which is acquired similar to the cannons as well as the Vex shields that we've seen in the game. And you're going to get to use it in gameplay. And, realistically, it's just a flaming battle axe. I'm actually really excited to see. They said in the Twitch stream that you get to use it for a minute or two, but, as you recall when we're looking at Vex shields, we do get to play that or use that through a large portion of the raid, whereas the cannons, you only get so many shots. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays into the game. Now the moment that everyone's been waiting for, the return of the Gjallarhorn. I can't tell you how many times I go on Reddit, Bungie forums, social media, and everyone just says, give me my year 2 Gjallarhorn, give me my year 2 Gjallarhorn. Well, we're going to get a year 3 Gjallarhorn, and you're going to be able to acquire it through a quest line. That quest line is going to be time gated to my understanding, but if you pre-order the game, you get it as of day 1 when it drops. During the Twitch stream, they teased that it was back in black, so I think this is going to follow the same sort of structure as the Suros and a couple other weapons did, where they took the standard colors that you would see in year 1 and changed them up a little bit, so we're going to get to forge a black Gjallarhorn. For anyone who doesn't have a Gjallarhorn and is actually wondering what it is, I know there's a lot of newcomers to this game lately. This was a year 1 rocket launcher that just melted enemies and was the envy of every Guardian that didn't have it. I know myself personally, it took me 660 hours to get one to drop. After that, I had multiples. I had so many friends that had it after 150 hours, and it just drove me insane. Now again, I want to note that they said Destiny Rise of Iron is going to launch on September 20th, but in the small print, you'll notice that there is a quest line for this particular weapon. So in order to attain the Gjallarhorn, whether you pre-order or not, you're going to have to progress through a quest line to begin forging that weapon. Acquiring this weapon will likely be similar to No Time to Explain as well as Touch of Malice, so I'm sure there's going to be several quest steps that we're going to need to proceed through in order to get it, and each quest step is going to give us a piece of the Gjallarhorn for us to be able to forge it. So guys, in summary, we've got 4 main categories. There's new campaign, which gives us a new cinematic story, new missions, new quest line. There's new places for us. There's the Plaguelands, Fellwinter's Peak, and the Wall. There's a new cooperative, so new raid, new and updated strikes, patrols, and public events. And there's also new crucibles, a new maps, a new mode, and new features. The release date for this expansion is September 20th, 2016. It's going to come at a $30 USD price tag, and it's going to be for the PS4 and Xbox One only. So last gen consoles, the PS3 and the 360, are getting left behind. Well guys, I hope you really enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the commentary. Hope I was able to express as much information as you needed, and you got everything in the video that you're hoping for. Feel free to leave a like, hit subscribe, check out my other videos, and we'll see you guys in the Destiny universe. Very excited for this update. Cheers everyone.